one of the major things I want to get into is obviously some different rankings and predictions for this year. The big one that I had seen was actually an NBA listing of the top five power rankings in the NBA right now. Kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and read right through and let you go ahead and take it away from there. So at one we have the Warriors, two we have the Bucks, Celtics at three, Suns at four, and then the Clippers at five. Uh,
Mm.
so that is the top five power rankings. Run through it one more time. We got Warriors, Bucks, Celtics, Suns, and then Clippers.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty accurate list. I think the only one team that I would throw in there right now at the beginning of the season, if they were fully healthy, would be the Nuggets. Obviously, I think with Murray coming back, I think they should be in the top five. Um, just because the Clippers haven't really I don't know. This is a new Clippers, right? With John Wall, they're a little bit
Yeah.
deeper. Um, they are very talented, obviously. I just think the Nuggets are kind of in that flex of should they be in top five? I guess we'll see. But that's one of my teams to watch too, and I know we'll kind of get into that. Um, but yeah, I would say that's probably a pretty accurate top five. I don't think there's really any too much of a debate. Um, you kind of wonder how the Nets will fare when they're healthy um, and at full strength, which as of right now, it looks like they're going to be. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of see. I feel like the NBA has potential to um, be pretty open for who's going to make the finals this year. Um, Obviously, I think the Warriors are probably they're the favorite right now. But behind them, I feel like anyone can really make it. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out of the East this year. Do the Celtics run it back? You could argue that they got even better this offseason, but now they don't have their head coach. So um, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only team that surprised me was the Clippers. I think if you're looking at this list of teams and assume the best to happen, I think you can throw them in there. But not that Kawhi is not great or anything, but um, you usually don't see the same type of player after a really prolonged injury like the one that he had. I mean, and then also John Wall's kind of a question mark and an X factor as well. Not that they don't have a solid team, but I mean, there's some really good teams in the league, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it is a little bit bold to put them at five. I wouldn't put it past them to end up there by the end of the season. I'm also curious about the Suns. I think from a on paper standpoint, valid to have them in there. They got waxed in the playoffs last year, though. I wonder how much of that plays into this. Obviously it's a whole new season, and you just like any team, you learn and you grow from those experiences. So maybe that's just going to put a type of taste in their mouth that they're never going to forget, and they're going to look completely different attitude and all that stuff. But man, they got dismantled by a Mavericks team who I think got better in the offseason. Added a few pieces. I I might even venture to put the Mavericks in this as well. Obviously the Nets are on top of my mind for getting into here. It'll be interesting because they have so many different pieces coming together at once. Like
Right.
so many different things that happened over this offseason. Like obviously Kyrie being able to play full time, supposedly Ben Simmons being fully healthy, supposedly Kevin Durant wanting out and then buying back in over the offseason. They added some good pieces though. They have a few guys that are going to be out for a while that are hurt, but I mean, add a guy like Royce O'Neal from Utah, who's a great 3-and-D guy, and then also Markeith Morris, who uh, I feel like the Morris brothers are kind of like they bounce all over the league, but they always bring a positive impact. So that I mean, the Nets are dangerous as well, but I think there's just too many question marks. Is probably why they're outside of that top five.
Yeah, I agree. I can't dispute that. I think that's true. I think they kind of have to prove themselves right now. Um, but yeah, I feel like that kind of leads us into maybe teams to watch. I briefly mentioned the Nuggets. I mean, think about it. They got Caldwell Pope. They added him. Porter Jr. should be back, fully healthy. Jamal Murray is going to be back, and they have arguably, the best player in the NBA. People would argue. I don't think he's number one, but Jokic is right up there. So, if they're healthy, the Nuggets have the depth and the talent, I think, to hang with anyone. They just haven't been able to prove themselves in the playoffs.